Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Happy Few series, Passions in Fashion. In today's appointment, we have art historian Vittoria de Petra. Good morning, Vittoria.
Good morning, everybody, and a big thank you to Raffaella, Ludovica, and Anna Maria from the Happy Few Club. I'm really glad to be given the opportunity to introduce myself to the THF network today.
Vittoria, would you start by giving us some information about yourself and your background?
Sure. My name is Vittoria de Petra. I was born in Rome in 1989, and I am an art historian. I've always loved contemporary art and culture in general since I was a little girl, probably thanks to my parents. When I was a child, we as a family used to visit a lot of museums and cities of art around the world. I also used to spend a lot of time in Umbria, where artists such as Giotto and Perugino depicted some memorable frescoes that have influenced my imagination as a child. And of course, that same inspirational role I should give to Rome, my city, with its monumental masterpieces and its so peculiar and never boring atmosphere. A funny anecdote that always made us laugh among my family and my friends is that when I was just 10 years old, when someone used to say the word Florence, I used to shout back, the cradle of the Renaissance. This motto impressed me and still impresses me a lot. The fact that an entire civilization can blossom into a single city. Moreover, the impact that such an intellectual vivacity had on the biography of Florence and on the Western culture proves that everyone and everything do benefit from the domino effect of art. So basically, that is when I realized how much art is fundamental.
Is that why you decided to focus your study on contemporary art?
Actually, yes. This is one of the main reasons which made me go for contemporary art. Being part of this ongoing dialogue and enjoying the idea that the artist you are talking with is changing something in history somewhere in some part of the world. Each artwork tells a story, and if you are lucky enough, you can also debate and be briefed by the artist in person. So what I can do is meet and study the stories of incredible, talented, alive artists. And this is what I definitely don't want to miss in my life.
And can you tell us a bit about your career steps?
Sure. First, I got my first level art graduation that ended up being a research on Alberto Savinio, that eclectic intellectual, both artist and writer, which also happened to be the Chirico's brother. In 2012, I founded with a couple of friends what we proudly called Studio Pivot. Studio Pivot was first a pop-up gallery with which we attended international art fairs such as Start Art Fair at Saatchi Gallery in London, or Contemporary Istanbul, or Asia Contemporary Art Show in Hong Kong. And then Studio Pivot became a young art consultancy firm. It was an amazing experience, and I learned how to share a vision and a passion with other people at the same time. 2 years ago, I then decided to continue this path as an independent freelance art historian while keeping in my mind my personal goals.
So what do you mean by this? So what goals did you put on top of your priority list?
My master's degree focused on the private foundations and how they act as tools for the management of the artistic and cultural heritage. As an art historian living in this particular age, I am keen to discover every single aspect of the contemporary art system, not just the curatorial one, because it is such a fascinating machine. I felt so privileged when I started to collaborate for Artissima in Torino, and I know you knew Artissima Fair a few weeks ago.
So what is next for you, Vittoria?
I am now also carrying on different projects as a consultant, and the more recent and very exciting one was being the assistant of Ilaria Bonacossa, which I thank, for the exhibition Fantastic Utopias in the Rocca Borromeo di Angera on the Lake Maggiore, an amazing experience. Besides the collaboration, I have applied for a PhD and I am now waiting for the final verdict. I really would love to focus my next years of researches on the connection and relationship between art and technology and what is going on right now.
So what do you think about the connection and relationship between art and technology?
Even before the pandemic, I was focusing my attention on this topic. In fact, it is a topic in close connection with some recent events and few current European policies which encourage the digitalization of national cultural memories. So I started to be curious about the two main aspects of the relationship between art and technology. The preservation of digital artworks on one side and the virtual display of existing artworks on the other side. The ability of these technologies is to dematerialize, to manipulate, to broadcast, and to recreate reality. The new generation of some artists has borrowed a particular aesthetic languages from video games world.
So how do you think art is going to change in the future?
There has always been a technological, historical, or social element that has stimulated creativity. So I think that while we are embracing new technologies, art is changing in a positive way. The same happened for perspective, photography, and the video. On the other hand, the recent history witnesses how it urges to do a step back towards the natural world. So those are some of the contradictions of the time we live in. Being in the so-called technological era, in the middle of globalization, but looking also to the past, to our roots, and to more concrete and grounded feelings. And I think that art is all about the feelings. We just have to wait and see if technology, that is just apparently far away from art, will instead reveal itself as its ally. I guess it can be.
Thank you so much for your time, Vittoria.
Thank you.
Take care.